make a nigga in church pants got his dick pressed up against your woman back. Look at that look on that face. Look at that look on that goddamn face. Stop it right there. Look at that face. Boy, they coming. Man, you can't tell me they ain't coming. Look at their faces. Look at that nigga. Look at that nigga calming on that girl. And look at her. She calming too. Why I tear the motherfucking house up when she get home with that on the screen right there. Yeah, nigga, this is some disrespectful shit. Yeah, as a married man, I'm offended.
Alright, you kids get to bed. I get the storybook.
The sick serenade that ended the singer Usher. In the shimmering lights of the concert hall, Usher Raymond stood at the apex of his career. His voice, a mellifluous instrument, echoed through the auditorium, enrapturing the hearts of thousands. But beneath the veneer of fame and adulation, a darker obsession simmered in the singer's sick little mind. This obsession, which forced him to obey it, began innocently enough back in the year 2014 at the Video Music Awards when a feisty Usher slapped a then-unmarried Nicki Minaj on her chunky left booty cheek during a live performance. For some reason or another, Usher began finding a thrill in singling out women, especially married women, from the crowd during his performances and treating them as if he was trying to smash on the first date. They're gonna be talking about you tomorrow, saying she put that thing on, baby. When he seduced these women and saw their wedding rings glistening under the stage lights, it tempted him like forbidden fruit. He fed on the thrill of making their husbands squirm with jealousy, each serenade a calculated seduction meant to cause an uproar. Keke Palmer was his first actually married victim. Her marriage, once a beacon of hope, shattered under the weight of Usher's seductive serenade as he swayed her with his smooth moves after she attended one of his sought-after concert dates. The next day, her husband's fury spilled out onto social media, casting Keke as the villain in a tragic love story destined for an ignoble end. Undeterred by the wreckage he left in his wake, Usher's hunger for conquest grew insatiable. Super Bowl 58 was approaching and beckoned like a siren's call, offering a stage upon which to fulfill his deepest desires. Alicia Keys, the epitome of elegance and grace, stood as his next big target after a failed attempt to seduce the queen of hip-hop and R&B, Mary J. Blige, who Usher was just joking around with when he attempted to sexually serenade her at one of his recent shows because she isn't even married, so he wouldn't even have had any fun anyway. At the Super Bowl, as the notes of their 2004 hit My Boo filled the stadium, Usher felt the thrill of anticipation coursing through his veins. He imagined the headlines the next day, the scandalous whispers that would follow in the wake of his triumph of musically smashing AK in front of millions of viewers. During the performance, Alicia tried to remain steadfast, her commitment to her marriage unwavering in the face of Usher's seduction, but the clever crooner was able to sneak a few grabs of the songstress's ample booty in his hands. Her husband, the legendary producer, Swizz Beatz, looking from afar, not able to prevent his precious wife from getting groped in front of half the world. The sneaky Usher was able to have his way with Alicia on that big stage, even ending their duet by caressing her from behind and rubbing his manhood all over her juicy yet clothed cakes. The You Got It Bad singer enjoyed that night, but was pissed off when Swizzy posted to social media the next day after thousands of fans bombarded his DMs talking about the performance, about how great the event was, and that he wasn't mad at Usher at all. The smooth dancer shrugged off the disappointment and focused on his next big show. Just a few hours prior, his assistant informed him that former President Barack Obama's wife, Michelle, was going to hold an event announcing her bid to join the race for the Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
You see, it's real simple, folks. Michelle runs for the White House, beats old Joe in June, then beats that orange fella in November, and boom, your favorite president's favorite president is back in the Oval Office for a third term, which is just what this country needs. Now, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and smash that like button. And after that, go and smash that notification bell for my boy G.K. David. These stories are priceless, and he should be getting paid.
Atlanta singer to join Beyoncé as her musical guests. A few weeks later, at Michelle Obama's highly anticipated announcement event, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and anticipation. The venue was packed with enthusiastic supporters, eagerly awaiting the momentous declaration. As the crowd erupted into cheers, singer Usher Raymond took the stage, his smooth voice filling the air with soulful melodies. The spotlight illuminated him as he serenaded the audience, his hit song, "There Goes My Baby," resonating throughout the venue's large speakers. Seated in the front row were Michelle Obama, the formidable presidential candidate, and other musical guest, the iconic singer Beyoncé, both radiant with grace and poise. Their presence added an air of elegance to the event, captivating the audience's attention. As Usher crooned his way through the song, his charismatic presence commanded the stage. With each note, he drew closer to Michelle and Beyoncé, his movements fluid and magnetic. The audience watched in awe as he approached the two influential women, his performance charged with electrifying energy. However, in a shocking turn of events, Usher's gestures took a controversial turn. Ignoring the boundaries that any man should have for a married woman, he reached out and groped both Michelle and Beyoncé's luscious cleavages. His actions met with stunned silence and gasps of disbelief from the crowd. The atmosphere shifted from jubilation to discomfort as the husbands of Michelle and Beyoncé, Barack Obama and Jay-Z respectively, rose from their seats in the back of the large hall, where they were having a boys' night out type of gathering, their expressions a mixture of anger and disbelief. The attendees looked shocked, as tension hung thick in the air as Usher stood both women up and gyrated his hips behind them, slowly grinding into their buttocks as he continued singing, the once celebratory mood soured by his inappropriate behavior. Michelle and Beyoncé, both dignified and composed, exchanged a knowing glance as several national news cameras captured every moment, their resolve unshaken by the unwelcome intrusion. The two queens, regal and unyielding, their presence commanded respect and reverence. They were not swayed by his charm, nor dazzled by his fame.
I was trying to tell that little boy that I'm a grown-ass woman from the south side of Chirac and don't play with me like that. My husband all in the back room looking at that shit all mad and whatnot.
He kept grinding his lil thing all on me, and I yelled in his ear to stop that because that shit'll send my husband back to his Marcy Projects days, but he kept doing it.
With grace and poise, Michelle signaled an end to the performance. DJ Khaled, stopping the music abruptly as the future president made a swift departure from the room. As Usher's ill-fated serenade came to an abrupt halt, the audience was left grappling with a sense of unease and disappointment. The incident served as a stark reminder of the importance of respect and boundaries, even in the most public of settings. In the aftermath of the event, Usher faced widespread backlash and condemnation for his actions, his reputation tarnished by a moment of indiscretion. And as the dust settled, Michelle and Beyoncé remained steadfast in their commitment to dignity and integrity, refusing to let the incident overshadow their message of empowerment and change. Fast forward 2 months later. A vacationing Usher is at a luxurious villa in the south of France, with his new wife on much-needed away time. During a beach outing, the singer is sent back to their digs to retrieve the phone his new bride left behind, and when he hops in the rented Ferrari in the beach's parking lot, he immediately feels something uncomfortably hot, as his entire body is engulfed in flames from the explosives that were planted near the sports car's fuel tank. French authorities still haven't solved the death of the American singer, but when Barack and Jay-Z got wind of the news, they both grinned heavily, remembering how the singer embarrassed them with his slick touching of their beloved wives' luscious booties. Michelle went on to beat out Biden and then Trump for the 2024 presidential election and became the 47th president of the United States. That's a whole nother story, which you should check out on the YouTube channel, GK David Stories.
Mrs. Obama, why was the singer Usher dancing so provocatively like that with you?
Well, I
Doesn't
don't know.
he know
That little
that you're
horny
married?
rascal tried to French kiss me, and he got French toasted. Next question, please.
I said, nigga, he gonna check the shit out of Usher. Usher in violation. That wasn't part of the... I know for a fact that wasn't part of the rehearsal. Usher squeezed that shit in, and Alicia had to play it off.